Mike's up. Studio is live. Good morning, Lagos. Thanks a lot for staying tuned here on Smooth 98.1. I'm Ayo Mairo Ese, and it's time for Business Express 981. When you hear that, you know Rotus is in the building.
Good morning. Thank you, Ayo. Good morning, Lagos. Everybody out there. Much appreciated, our darling listeners.
Yes,
They're
indeed.
the blood of the show, the
Rotus
lifeblood.
isn't alone. At least today he didn't start with an hour, asking for an hour.
Ayo, they're your bank charges story. You didn't even know about that one. There are too many stories and we need more time. That one is a fact.
Rotus isn't here alone. He's with Dara and Chinedu from Afri Invest. Good morning, Dara.
Good morning, Ayo.
Good
Hi,
morning.
Chinedu.
Excellent. Welcome,
All
welcome,
right.
welcome.
So if you'd like to join the conversation, you can please go onto Twitter at Smooth981FM is the handle. Use the hashtag Business Express 981. On WhatsApp, please send us a message on 0809 and we're streaming live on YouTube. So use the live chat option to send in your messages as well.
All right, thank you so much. Stock market, I believe, was flat yesterday. It's quickly getting see the messages yesterday. I have to give a shout out to one of our listeners. Patricia from Ikota said yesterday, "Good morning, guys. You all are doing a great job. Listen to this. You have an ardent listener here. My 9-year-old son, Ifeanyi, told me to please tune into 9811 immediately when we got into the car. A 9-year-old kid. At 9, I was primary 2. I wasn't doing anything about
Start
business
them
news.
young.
I'm telling you, you have to start them young. All right, so Ayo and Valentine talked about it this morning. I didn't even catch this because there's just so much news out there. Dara and Chinedu, the bank charges that the central bank says there's going to be an increase in. What's this? Is it a cashless thing? Because it says they're adding more charges to deposits and withdrawals. So what's the story here?
So for the additional charges for withdrawals for both individual and corporate, it's just basically to boost government revenues and then also to encourage cashless policy.
Okay.
This is in line with moving our financial sector to be at par with advanced economies, where we don't see people moving around with so much cash and then encouraging theft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Instead of charging people, why don't you give us higher interest on my account savings or something so I can
For
put more
doing
money in there?
cashless transactions.
Thank,
Leave it
that's
in
a
there.
better suggestion, Rotus.
You think
I
so,
agree.
eh?
I totally agree with
Well, I
you.
know they won't do that one. they won't do that
No,
one.
we won't
But
see
I
that.
believe it's 500,000
For individual
yes,
accounts
individual.
above 500,000, 3% for deposits,
Okay.
and then no 3% for withdrawals and
Right.
2% for deposits.
Okay.
But for corporate accounts, it's above 3 million.
Right.
So 5% for withdrawals and 2%, 3% for deposits.
All right. So all you I don't deposit 500K or withdraw. I don't have that much money. For all you big boys and girls out there on the individual side and on the business side, there you go. 500K for individuals, 3 million for businesses. All right. So central bank continues the charges. 2020 is going to be an interesting year, I tell you. All right, Chinedu, let's come to you. So many messages from this story yesterday. Still on the President Buahri dissolving the economic management team. Was it a silent admission on the president's part that the vice president's economic management team didn't live up to expectations? What's your take?
Well, we can't categorically say that. So the silent admission of that. The president's decision to override it could be that Nigerians have had a lot of expectations since he was reappointed earlier this year. And given the fact that we've not seen much of the critical reforms that we've been looking at, the president's decision to appoint an independent body could have been the best decision he made. We think that these guys are actually competent enough, given their profiles and experience, especially with the private sector.
Okay.
And so we are hopeful that we are going to get the much intended benefits from decisions that they are going to make. But however, we also like to say that much focus also has to be placed on the implementation, because it's one thing to convene an economic team with an economic team of intellectuals, and then the channel of implementation is still lagging, like it has always been in previous
the
years.
past.
Yeah.
All right. Real quick, sorry, John has been asking me this question about tantalizers. John, are you invested? He wants to know whether it's still on the exchange. They closed at 20 kobo yesterday. I don't. Yeah, but that's the answer to your question. Tantalizer is still on the exchange, but the analysts don't have any opinion on the stock. I have to tell you. But yeah, 20 kobo yesterday is where it closed. It didn't move. It was flat. Thank you for that, Chinedu.
Right, so we have some reactions
okay,
to the
yes.
percentage. Good morning, guys. 5% of what exactly? The total money you have in your account
No. Talk about no.
Come on, the deposits or the withdrawal.
Yes,
the
so that the amount, yeah,
above 500,000
right,
and above 3 million for corporates.
Okay,
all right. So
sorry, there you
Bolu
go.
says, will the bank charge and deposits also affect USD transactions?
No, there's no mention of USD transactions, Bolu. It's just strictly for Naira as far as the CBN is concerned. Strictly for Naira. All right. Yes.
Oyin says, please, is it possible for one to make at least 10% and above daily on his account on FX trading?
Oyin from Aja, 10% daily on FX. Look, FX trading, I've said this before several times. Take fake money, dummy money. A lot of these online accounts allow you to do it. Practice for 6 to 8 months. Market conditions. Look at what happened with Brexit and how the pound has moved up and down with every announcement from Boris Johnson and everything. So that can affect your forex trading. If you pair the naira with the pound or pair the pound with the dollar or with the yen or whatever you do. So the thing about forex trading is you almost won't sleep. You have to be up at almost all the entire day checking market conditions. It's a very volatile thing. I do not advise anybody to do forex trading, but if you can master it, there are people who are making millions. But Rotus is telling you to please be careful, practice with fake money and see how.
All right, so Patricia from Ikota reacting to your shout out said you made Ifeanyi's day. My son was super excited.
Hey, look, he's on the right path. 9 years old.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Agbenga Akomu says, I think Buahri is trying a different approach to see if he can accelerate economic growth and inclusion, but we will see.
We will see.
And then Prince says, VP, so going back to what you had posted earlier on, VP Vice President is still the chairman of the National Economic Council, which is in line with the Constitution. Economic Management Team is just a sub of the NEC. At the end, EAC is just an advisory role.
All right, thank you for that, Prince. Shall we quickly? Okay, more questions. See?
So Clement says, good morning, guys. Are you saying for deposits above 500,000 I will be charged?
Yes. Clemens is a big boy. Big boy, see? You have the big boys and girls.
And then Fred is asking us, and still bear stamp duty charge?
Of course, well, stamp duty is not going anywhere. Fred, we need the government needs
an
money.
Additional charge.
Yes. So go cashless.
Inka is saying, so along with the stamp duty charge, MasterCard that's in my pocket maintenance and account maintenance charges and 65 Naira ATM charge and SMS charges, especially the one on my birthday. Now, another 5% charge.
Yinka, you're my guy. Yinka is he's the layman. He's the everyday guy. He's trying to live. Okay, God, so many questions. Quickly, we have to touch on inflation. Dara, inflation for August, I showed it moderated downwards again.
Yes, to 11.02%.
Okay.
And it's like the third consecutive month that we're seeing a moderation in inflation. Basically, this month was driven by a lower growth in food prices.
Okay.
So we saw food inflation at 13.17 from 13.39.
Okay.
And this is just because we are already in the harvest season, so prices are curtailed basically. So we expect this to keep on going forward. We expect moderation in food inflation, and food inflation has been driving headline inflation
for a while
so
now. Right.
We believe that a moderation in food inflation will lead to moderation in headline inflation. However, we cannot attribute. There were some headlines yesterday that despite the border closure, inflation still moderated. It's to be noted that border closure came in August 20th, so we can't see the full impact yet. So it's just 11 days to the end of the period I would say border closure, and then the impact was not even immediate on food prices. So we will have to wait for September inflation reports to be able to state the impact of the border closure. Okay,
exactly. I'm glad you raised that point. Still on the matter of, since you mentioned food inflation, there was where's this report now that came out from the OECD looking at tons of rice production per hectare for 2017. So Australia is doing at the top of the charts. They're doing about 7.3 tons of rice production per hectare. Egypt second place 6.7. The US 5.9. Russia 5.3. You go down, and Nigeria is at 1.1 tons of rice per hectare. Is right above Israel. I don't even know if they have farmland in Israel. It's just one big desert. So, guys, upon all the money that has been, I think this border closure, they say it was because of rice. They've been spending so much money trying to, get rice production up. We are still not producing as much rice as needed. What are your thoughts on these figures coming from the OECD?
I actually think we do have a significant potential to boost rice production.
There's always potential. Okay, keep going.
but then some of the issues that probably would have contributed to that is the high cost of cultivation per hectare. If you compare it with like other countries, Nigerians cost of cultivation is relatively higher in terms of the paddies and the paddies that are used to grow the rice there. Also if you look at the FX restriction that was imposed sometime last year, which included fertilizers.
Yes.
Fertilizer is one of the major cost inputs for growing rice in Nigeria. So probably the higher cost of inputs could have filtered into the higher cost of cultivation per hectare and significantly lowered productivity. So, but I know that there are a lot of initiatives that are currently ongoing to curtail that, and probably, hopefully, we'll get to the much needed improvements over time.
All right, okay, so I see a question. The OECD is the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. That's where those figures came from.
And then on YouTube, Michael Adetutu says is a timekeeper.
Michael, shout out to Michael. He's always hitting us up on Twitter.
This increased rate on deposits and withdrawal will encourage smurfing. And then back to WhatsApp, this rate will increase colo savings. Oh, that's from Lara. And then Print comes on to say border closure is not because of rights, it's because of security, according to the National Security Advisor.
Okay, but I read a number of other things about that being the silent reason why they did it. Okay.
And Sean says, not sure where these guys are getting their inflation figures from. Every month, the groceries from the stores are getting less and less, while the receipt figures higher and higher. Those inflation figures are faulty.
Sean, prices are still rising, or it's just the rates at which they are rising. So keep in mind, they're not coming down. So just to clear that up on inflation, Rainmaker is also not happy about this. He's calling these desperate measures to get money seriously becoming unbecoming. So he's referring to the fees. What else do we have?
Well, Fred says with all these charges, the government is trying to make us go truly cashless. And then Share Gold says Agri Tech has insurance and they also promised 30% return. What are your thoughts?
Share. Again, 30% agriculture. I would be very careful about that. So please, 30. Come on now. Please be careful with all those kinds of returns that they're offering. I don't know.
Good question here from Ladile Johnson. Can I break my deposit so as not to hit the 500,000 mark?
Yep. We were laughing about that downstairs.
We're just talking about that. I rather withdraw tries.
As long as you don't hit the 500 mark, you should be okay.
We see a number of, and they delay us at the ATM machine.
Exactly. Oh gosh. You see what I keep telling you. See, we still have to talk about debt service. We still have to talk. Okay.
And you have 30 seconds.
Dara, in 30 seconds, the debt service number is what they say. We're on track for how much? 1 trillion.
1.1 trillion.
That we're servicing. So our debts keep increasing.
And we pay so much.
Yeah.
So looking at the proportion of debt service to revenue, we are already doing about over 50%, and this is not a very good one for the country because we have other things to spend on. We have salaries, even capital expenditure has been taking the beating on the back of debt service, and then generally recurring expenditure. So we this is very high, and we think it's not a good one for the economy. So basically, we can reduce our debts, reduce the debt servicing costs to boost how much we're able to do in terms of capital expenditure. Yeah. So basically, that's what we think is happening. But
Ayo is signaling us, so we've run out of time. But we get the picture.
We've seen so many initiatives of government trying to boost revenues, and that is a very good one. But we believe that the tax net should be expanded.
Right.
One thing.
So
there are so many people in the informal sector that are not paying tax at all. So rather than increase things, we should ensure that there's a proper implementation of things, like ensure that so many people are paying tax. Let's know the actual number of tax if everybody is captured in the tax net.
Dara,
thank you very much, Dara and Chinedu. Thank you for your comments, everyone who's sent them in. Tomorrow, Rotus will continue responding to your comments.
Yes, we will.
But right now, it's time to go on a break. When we come back at 7:30, we have nice music until then. But 7:30, we're going to Freshly Press 981, where we talk about the national news headlines in detail. Brought to you by